Good morning, Pride League. It's Thursday again. We've got football, ladies and gentlemen. And what does that mean? That means it's week 5. We are in October. This is maybe I'm a little extra excited because put a little number in the win column there. I appreciate that. The boys in Scranton, handing out discounted wins. Appreciate you, bruh. But we're gonna get into that. I just want to make sure everybody's having a wonderful football season. October, this stuff will be gone before you know it. So I want you to savor every minute of what we have in store. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what happened in week 4, right? First matchup, we had Dunder Mifflin going up against Disabled Vigilantes. Disabled Vigilantes 0-3 at this stage, and Dunder Mifflin, looking pretty strong, pretty high in the power rankings and whatnot. So, at least top 7, I think this was a quality win for Disabled Vigilantes and getting their season back on track. It wasn't a high-flying game, but he did just enough to supplant the 0 in the win column, and now maybe we can see some kind of flourish. You think with Tua out and there was a couple goose eggs down there on the D. We're gonna get this stuff fixed, gentlemen. The team is gonna look good. It's just taking a little time to get the pump primed over here. Next up, we've got Agent Smith going up against Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. Now, some may say it's not fair that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub scored so high in this game, yet to lose to the powerhouse, which is Agent Smith. Who would have saw Geno Smith becoming a viable quarterback option? Not this brother over here, although I do appreciate what it's done for DK Metcalf stock as well. Anyway, I digress. This is the nature of sports in general. You don't get to play against the whole league. You don't get to have one record versus your opponents, which matter, versus another set of opponents as a collective. No. Keep that in your spreadsheet, and you could use that as, warfare for future matchups or whatever, planning accordingly. But that shit doesn't matter when you're talking about heads up. Heads up is a beautiful way to create and foster. I know we could do both. We could have a heads up matchup and in a set. No. I can't stress that enough. This is not how. Not everybody gets a fucking ribbon. I'm sorry. You either win your matchup or you lose your matchup, and then you get in the playoffs based on merit and tiebreakers alone. All right. I think I got that out my system. But Wubba Lubba Dub Dub did have an excellent week. You get to use those points when it comes down to tiebreakers. What more do you want? You want validation that, I was still better? We know, we can see the fucking points. There's nothing necessary about, okay, all right, I'm done. Agent Smith, on the other hand, blew things out the water, and he didn't even get some major production from Jamar Chase at this time. Didn't need it. The rest of the team came to play. So I like Agent Smith going forward. Agent Smith is that defense. We're gonna have a defensive battle coming up in the upcoming week. So that is my game of the week for next week. This would have been my game of the week as well. I don't know if I clarified that, but Wubba Lubba Dub Dub gonna be sliding in my rankings just a tick, so he can put Agent Smith back up there. Next, we have Griffey Cakes going up against Dynasty Sage, another low bout. Griffey Cakes was the stud last week, and I know some people are like, "Hey, what about the boss? Boss had more points." Sometimes it's not about the points. Sometimes it's about the surging victory of what the stud can do, especially on a Monday night, coming from behind. And nobody enjoys coming from behind like your boy Disabled Vigilantes. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway. But, no disrespect to the boss. The boss is at the top of the power rankings for a reason. But I had to give it to Griffey Cakes last week just in case there was any kind of confusion. Oh, I thought the guy with the highest points. It's not always the guy with the highest points. Not even the guy with the lowest points gets the dud sometimes. Sometimes I like to switch it up. Keep you guys on your toes. But unfortunately, Griffey K scored less than 200 points after being the stud last week. It was kind of disappointing. But Dynasty Sage is like, I'll take it. Toss a brother a sensu bean over here, my guy. I'll take it. Scoring around what I did, about 217, 220. You do what you got to do to get the dub against the player you're playing. Moving on. Good on you, Dynasty Sage. We've got the boss going up against Bull City. Where did Bull City come from? I really didn't even look at this matchup in depth. You know what I mean? But I think Bull City's got, and this is with Trevor Lawrence not doing very well. I think Bull City has a team of ballers, just very dependable ballers. And then the defense of the boss. I think the boss had 136 points on offense. That is not bad. That's typically what'll give him the victory. But if you only score 119 on defense, that's where the crux of your team is. I mean, Jeremy Chin leaving that game a little early, that didn't help, But, this is a blip. I think the boss's defense is geared for 135 plus week in, week out, and that's on my bear case. On bull case, that man's scoring 150 to 160 on defense, and if he can couple that with great offensive play, I mean, the guys, Pat Fryermuth, yeah, I mean, there's some areas with Bateman out and about, little injuries, but it is what it is. So I don't know why we just went to a box score. God dang it, I must have clipped something. Either way, I just want to say the boss and Agent Smith's matchup is one that I will be keeping my eye on in addition to my own game. So we're going to I guess move on since my computer is acting freaking crazy. So then we got Unfuckwittable going up against Hollywood Cole Brothers, and I had Unfuckwittable winning this game. I really did. And he probably should have. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but Hollywood Cole Brothers, there was a little tit tat, conversation in the Discord. Maybe somebody celebrating a little too early. We got the makings of another rivalry kind of brewing here. I'll be back. I see you, Unfuckwittable. I see you. So I when it comes down to my picks, I had Unfuckwittable. I had the boss. I also had Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. Those were all miscues on my part. Obviously I took out Dunder Mifflin. I had Dynasty Sage mopping up the current reigning champ. Then we had West Coast Giants going up against Stacking Yards. And I had Stack in this game. It wasn't very, it wasn't a blowout, obviously. This was another consideration for game of the week. So I had picked West Coast simply because I had picked Stack simply because of the momentum and West Coast Giants being 0-3. But West Coast, if you remember in my week 1, I had this guy ranked high. I believe in his players. I believe that he has, and we kind of saw a glimpse of what could be. And I don't think West Coast is going to be treading on the bottom of the power rankings much longer. I think he's about to hit his stride, similar to me. Me and West Coast, you better watch out. You middling teams around 5 through 9. West Coast and I, we're going to be trying to make our way up in that region, if you will. Next, we had Redacted ADP 1897 going up against those classy strippers. And I picked ADP with a strong. I have a lot of faith in ADP, especially coming from last season and the off-season moves. And then let's not talk about the slew of trades that happened during this season. this has been a roller coaster ride for ADP, and you can see it in the power rankings. You could see that this man is no longer a bottom feeder, whooping up on one of the co-commissioners. Good on you, kid. That's the weekend review essentially. I mean, I didn't go 7 for 7 in my picks, which is kind of upsetting. I was 3 for 4, which brings my grand total to 10 and 18. We are going to climb back into the positive. I guarantee you. I've taken a little more time. We'll talk about that in the preview for week 5. But now that we've cleaned up what happened in the past, we kind of got to see where our fantasy stud and dud lies. And I'm telling you, this feels like a recurrence from week 1. We've got Agent Smith, fantasy stud, giving us a new record for what we have as maximum points in 1 week. Agent Smith's guys flew off the shelves. You can't even find them in the Toys R Us archives. These things are gone, ladies and gentlemen. It is amazing to see a team come into its own and just blow past a quality opponent. I mean, there was much room for error, and his team stepped up. You can't buy a better story. This is amazing for Agent Smith. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But if you have a stud, you ultimately have a dud. And like I said, this feels like deja vu of week 1. How do you go from stud to dud in a matter of a week? Griffey Cakes is our dud. Didn't score over a 200 piece. This is worrisome. Sometimes we got like a light switch going on. Hot, cold, off, on. I don't know what to really expect from Griffey Cakes' team. This is perplexing to say the least. But there we have it. We have our fantasy stud, fantasy dud remix edition. That's the first time we've had somebody repeat as dud and repeat as stud. Good on Agent Smith. Let's get it cracking, reigning champ. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's take a look at what we have in terms of power rankings. We didn't get a lot of movement as we have no more undefeated teams. We have every team with a single digit in the win column. Good on West Coast Giants and myself for not trying to bottom feed, but we still have a lot to prove. No diggity, no doubt, huh? And but let's see what happened. The boss, we keep him at number 1, stack 2. We're gonna move ADP up. Like I said, pretty high on it. My rival Dynasty, my ex-rival Dynasty Sage moved up to 4. Ooh, what's going on down there? Agent Smith moving on up. And then we got Classy Strippers at 6. We got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub rounding out the playoff mix at 7. Hollywood Cole Brothers on the outside looking in at 8. Bull City slowly but surely climbing the charts. We kind of have Dunder Mifflin after that atrocious loss to Disabled Vigilantes. Humbled at 10. Unfuckwittable at 11. Disabled Vigilantes at 12, and West Coast Giants moving up a little bit so he can make room for Griffey Cakes at the bottom. So we still got a first or worst situation brewing down here, boys. And those are the power rankings, subject to change. I mean, all it takes is some explosive wins, but I have a feeling the cream is going to rise to the top. And these won't change much at all in the upcoming weeks and, dare I say, months. So we've got the power rankings out of the way. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what the future may bring, gentlemen. I know you want to see who's gonna win in week 5 and who is going to cement themselves at the top, who is going to settle at the bottom. And who are our rocket risers? You know what I'm talking about. In week 5, we have our matchup of Dynasty Sage. We got a little rebranding effort from Dynasty Sage. I'm digging it. I'm trying to get on board with the Dynasty Sage. But he going up against those disabled vigilantes this week. I haven't lost to Dynasty Sage yet, and I don't plan to start this week. I got disabled vigilantes winning this matchup. Shouldn't be easy, especially with the revamping of Dynasty Sage high up on the power rankings, getting dubs. I'm here to remind him of what last year looked like and make sure that he stumbles this week. Next, we've got Bull City going up against Unfuckwittable. So we got Bull City, who is a charging star. Unfuckwittable, former number 2, kind of middling, definitely closer toward the bottom of the power rankings. But I'm choosing Unfuckwittable. I don't think this the quality of Unfuckwittable superstars are going to hit a stride or they're going to get injured. One of the two. I'm banking on them hitting their stride. He will upset Bull City this week. Next we have, excuse me, I think I gotta sneeze. All right, I hate that. I hate that when you know you have to sneeze and it won't come until you least expect it. Anyway, we got Classy Strippers going up against West Coast Giants, and I'm taking Classy Strippers in this one. I think the West Coast Giants, they might have had a momentary glimpse of grandeur, but I think, and he's still going to score well. I just think the Classy Strippers are going to score just a little bit better this week. Hollywood Cole Brothers going up against Dunder Mifflin. We're going to take Hollywood Cole Brothers in this matchup. There's really not a whole lot. I think, I don't know. Kind of like the moxie of Hollywood Cole Brothers. And his defense is well put together, to say the least. I think he has some holes on the offensive side, but we're gonna give Hollywood Cole Brothers a shot to prove me right in this segment right here. We've got Stacking Yards going up against Griffey Cakes, and if you've been following all year, Griffey Cakes is, woo! We're going with Stacking Yards. This may not be this is a Super Bowl champion hangover type situation. But let's let that play out in real time. I got Stack. Next we've got the game of the week easily. The Boss going up against Agent Smith. And who do I have winning this game? You guys know I lean more towards offense, and the fact that the Boss's offense isn't terrible. It's just, it's supplementary to his defense. Now, again, Fantrax is sending me to, for some reason, the scoreboard of Minnesota and Chicago. Oh, God, I hate this. This is my computer. I need to upgrade my entire computer system. But to prevent this from getting too long-winded and trying to fix all this stuff, I've got Agent Smith. I think Agent Smith wins this game, and yeah, it's oh man, all right. For some reason, my computer is acting crazy. I was gonna go line by line. Anyway, Agent Smith gets that dub. Man, where are we? This is insane, Fantrax, and my computer not acting properly. Anyway, next we have Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going up against ADP. I picked ADP simply because Wubba Lubba Dub Dub is over here crying about scoring 298 points and not winning. This man may not score 200 this week. That's obviously a farce. That's not going to occur. But I still have ADP outscoring Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. This is the league, gentlemen. You like it or you love it. Just like these picks. In my closing statements, while I still have you, barely. Sorry. I thought the sneeze was coming. Anyway, uh, I enjoy the league. I truly enjoyed the matchups, and that I can't say that about any of the other fantasy football. I really wasn't paying attention to much of the other. I didn't do. I'm not in 100 leagues like the boss, and I know Classy Strippers probably does quite a bit, and the rest of you, fantasy football aficionados, right? I can do it. I just don't enjoy doing it. Um, and when I leagues, I'm pushing 40 now, so I've been playing the fantasy football for damn near 2+ decades or whatever. Uh, I never really. This league has kind of fostered, and we got 14 teams in this league. There's a lot to cover, but I enjoy looking at the matchups. I enjoy following the scores of not just my team, everybody. And the scoring system is set up to where nobody is truly out of it. And you play ballers, you offensive ballers, defensive ballers. You got gadget players outscoring some consistent play. This is insane. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have never thought that the scoring system, which is just a blend of, you know, some older leagues matched with some analytics and then classy strippers coming in there and trying to figure out exactly what I wanted while maintaining integrity for the entire. There is a lot that goes into this. So when I see rules, my initial, like when I go to the Discord and see the rules section and people throwing rules in there, my initial reaction is automatically one of revulsion. But I push that down and I actually listen and see if it will actually make things better, instead of just unnecessarily complicating something that doesn't need to be fixed. I'm not saying all the suggestions and the rules aren't worthy of my attention. No, because trust me, I want to make it, and getting opinions outside to see how we can make the league better. That is awesome. It shows that you're also invested in this league. I don't expect you to not present, but I mean, let's sit back and think about some of the things that has been presented, and then let's see if whether or not they were motivated by personal interest, or if they were motivated by actually wanted to see the league prosper in a better light than it already is in. That is when I'm reading things, I'm trying to gauge, all right, who sent it and why did they present this information, and why, what is the goal behind it? Is it self motivated? Is it, in prosperity of the league? And I'm not saying some of these things, even the ones that are self motivated, definitely deserve some attention because there might be something to it. But I gotta say, we Classy Strippers has been in a lot of leagues. I've been in not as many, but I'm kind of a. There's a reason why I choose to manage things is because I have a simple approach to trying to keep things fair as humanly possible. Right? There's no way. I mean, even me, I'm biased. I want to win, but I also want it to be fun, and I couldn't have had the most fun I've ever had was watching the championship last year, and that was worth the price of admission for me. And I don't want to foul that up in any way, shape, or form, even if I'm not in the championship. I've talked way too long about this. The keep the revisions coming, but I really want everybody to have the heart of the league in mind, trying to make the league better, not their current situation better. So if we can do that, I'm willing to look at all the possible league changes. But I want you to really take in what happened last year. We had 100% retention rate, which I didn't think was humanly possible with 14 teams in something this intricate. And I'm so glad everybody's still here. But we want to make sure the league is prospering, not our individual situations. And, keep them coming, and who knows, one of these things might come through. And we're going to vote on it. But, me with my platform, I'm going to politic the shit out of things I definitely disagree with. And I'm still on the fence about some of these things that have been proposed. I'm not, I kid. I want to keep it preserved, and it's. I'm done. I'm done. But I am open minded to all suggestions. All suggestions I look at quite deeply just to make sure it's feasible, functional, and won't damage the league in any monstrous way. All right, that's all I have. Love all of you guys. And that really, I mean, I love humanity, but I love this group of guys in this league. I couldn't ask for it. It was like the right amount of trash talk, the right. Actually, we could ratchet the trash talk up a little bit. I mean, I don't. Maybe that's just my opinion, but we're at a very interesting level of trash talk and meme warfare. All right, we can discuss more about this later. The league is wonderful in my eyes, and if we can improve the league, I'm all ears. Hope everybody has a great week, with the exception of my previous last year's rival, Dynasty Sage. I think you got a village to save, my boy. You don't need to win this week. Anyway, I just want to say thank you all and happy October. I think I'm all kinds of crazy, delirious, but we're going to make this stuff work, and I'm out. Peace!